Hey, so Joe, what is your position?
I am the site manager on this project.
Okay. And then how many years have you been a site manager?
Going on 40.
Okay. And then how did you get to the level and position that you're at?
I started out in construction at a young age and actually started off in the field and worked my way up. After a few months, I was a foreman. A year or two later, was made a superintendent, and that's where I've been since.
Gotcha. And then what made you choose construction at such a young age?
It paid a lot of money back then, and there was readily available jobs. And plus, I liked the idea of going and building something and seeing something when it's done and complete. It's something that's going to be there for a while, and you get to enjoy it.
Well, I'm happy it still pays a lot now.
It does pay a lot.
And then what lessons have you learned throughout your career?
Pertaining to the industry or just
overall? I guess the industry or overall.
Industry's changed a lot over the years. It's a lot more techno savvy now. There's more things.
A lot more processes.
A lot more processes, and it's supposed to actually speed up the processes, but it actually slows them down to the way it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I've learned the main thing is that I've learned to live by a schedule, and that kind of carries off into your personal life too.
Okay.
Because you become more adapt to situations. Learn to, fly by the seat of your pants sometimes. Learn that every call you make is not going to be the right one. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. But also learn you need to stand behind your decision.
Yeah. And then technology used in your position.
Technology we use is basically computer software, construction software, which really it keeps the job compacted where you can see what's going on throughout the job from every angle, which is better than it used to be in the older days, but it was a lot easier to get an answer in the older days. Now there's too many channels to go through in my opinion, but I'm old school. 63 years old, I've been around a while. I like the old ways better, but I've adapted to the new, and it just takes longer to get an answer.
Yeah. And then how do you deal with difficult people/clients?
A lot of different ways. You have, in my position, you're more of a people person than anything, because you have the guys that work on a construction site usually aren't your most model citizens. So you have to learn what keeps them motivated, and you also got to learn how to deal with attitudes. And the best way I found, I don't let anything sneak up. I meet everything head on, but you also have to address things in a manner where you're not threatening to them, or to me, there's some people that don't do that. They scream and yell too much, which sometimes you have to. I used to when I was younger, but I've learned over the years, it's better just to talk it out like an adult, and you get a lot more done and a lot. You gain people's respect when you treat them as a human being instead of an animal.
I gotcha. And then what advice would you give to students entering into the construction industry?
I'd say if you're getting into it, you need to make sure it's what you want to do. It's a hard job. It's a lot of hours. A lot of times there's travel involved with it. It does play with your home life, because the time of the year that everybody wants to spend with families is the time of the year where you're going to make your money. But I'd say go for it, because it's been good to me. It's a good profession to be in. There's always going to be plenty of work. And there's so many different trades you can get into, so many specializations that you can pretty much pick and choose. And especially right now, there's not a lot of younger people getting into it. And us older guys are worried about that, because who's going to carry it on? Because up until about probably 10 years ago, it seemed like everybody wanted to work construction when they got out of school. And now it seems like they don't want to.
Gotcha.
But it's getting more innovative. So I think there'll be a lot more done with the computer side of it and stuff. And there'll be openings for people, but we still need people in the field.
All right. And then before showing up to the site for the first time, how much time do you spend reviewing the drawings?
Usually I like to get 6 to 8 weeks before I start a job to look at the drawings and be familiar with it when you get there.
Yeah. And then I guess, I don't know, would you be doing that like, say you're wrapping up one project and starting another, like there's going to be some overlap there?
There'll be a little overlap. Usually you got a couple of weeks in there, but I usually get them when I'm on the job. And during the day, if I have time, but a lot of that work's done at home.
Right.
evenings and take a few hours on the weekends, and you can't familiarize yourself with all of it from the get-go. So you want to start where you're starting with your site work, your foundations, and move forward. Because when the foundations and stuff are going in, you have time to catch up on your finishes and stuff. But I look at all of it, but then as we get closer to the next phase, I start concentrating on that more. But there's a lot of time at home looking at them, because during the day you're usually so busy you don't have time to look at them the proper amount of time.
Okay. And then what personal qualities do you think have helped you the most as a superintendent?
All personal qualities.
Yeah.
I got a type A personality. I like things done. I like them done timely, and I like them done correct. And I'm good at scheduling. I'm good at getting people to work and keeping it organized. I think organization is a big thing, because we had 42 guys on this site yesterday. That's a small site. And to keep everything going and running, you have to pretty much be organized and know what they need to get done during that day.
Gotcha. How do you ensure that workers on the site stay safe?
We implement a safety program before they come, and also we conduct a safety audit every 2 weeks. And anything we see during the week, we correct it. All in all, everybody's pretty safe. Nobody wants to get hurt.
Mm.
They will take shortcuts on certain things, and you catch them on it, and then you correct it. And then money, you fine them if it happens again, and that money usually pretty much corrects it.
Yeah, I remember during the internship we talked about this a few times with a few of the guys not wearing shirts without sleeves and stuff like that.
And that's important. OSHA requires 6-inch sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come to a construction site in flip-flop shorts and a tank top.
Yeah.
You gotta have the right PPE. That's all. That's the main thing.
Gotcha. And then finally, what is your typical daily routine after getting to the site?
I get to the site between 5:30 and 6 each morning. I turn on my computer first thing. I walk the site first thing in the morning and check everything, make sure everything's secure, and see where we're starting at that day. Throughout the day, I do daily logs, paperwork, a lot of phone calls, visitors to the site, meetings. It's just a busy day, but I still find time to stay out in the building at least 4 to 5 hours a day, just checking on the progress, answering questions, problem solving. That is the biggest part of my job. I'm an official problem solver.
Gotcha.
And at the end of the day, I walk through, take pictures. Well, pictures are very important nowadays because it backs up everything that you say.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see what kind of progress we made. Then I do my daily log and see what was done. Then I do a 3-week look ahead. Every day I'm working on it, reviewing the prints. It's a busy day.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thanks for doing this with me, Joe.
No problem, Aiden. I think you'll make a fine person.